Hello and welcome to Organize with Grace. This is Grace, your host, and here we are with episode number 41. And I am just so amazed that I have entered into the 40s, just like my age. No. Um this is really neat because I want to tell you that the podcast has reached 5,000 downloads, and that may not be a whole lot to many of these other bigger podcasts with all these popular people, but I am so proud of it because you have taken the time to download these episodes. You have taken the time to listen, and I just appreciate you for that. And if you have been with me for at least 3 episodes, consider yourself part of the community, part of the Organize with Grace community, and I welcome you. I thank you, and you are so important, to me, to the success of this podcast. So, and there are other listeners, believe it or not, in other countries like Austria and Russia, and I've got to get a list of it sometime so that I can tell you where some listeners are coming from, including the United States. So it is so exciting, super exciting. And with this particular episode, I want to share about one of my clients' experiences, and I am interviewing her, or I have interviewed her for this episode. And she decided to work with me as her virtual organizer. And Cecile and I decided to trade coaching together, where I helped her with organizing her closet while she helped me get my writing started, because I also have this dream of writing a book one day. And guess what? Cecile is an author. She is an author of a book titled Slaying Your Fear Giants: Moving from a Jungle of Terror to a Garden of Peace. And I am always so excited to meet an author because of my love of books. And to my delight, we have become friends. So we met through a Facebook group that we are a part of called Igniting Souls. And from that time, she and I just got a chance to get to know each other and have been meeting for some time now, for a couple of months. And a couple of great things about her: she's a retired elementary school teacher and currently a full time caretaker for her father. And she is a woman of many talents. She likes to garden and do flower arrangements. And in fact, she is the founder of Flowers for Elders, which is an organization that delivers flower arrangements to patients. She and her husband live here in California, where I live as well, and they have a grown son and daughter and a son in law. So, in this episode, we will get behind the scenes of what we talked about during our Zoom calls as I guided her with a decluttering and organizing process. We started with her closet, and I can't wait for you to hear what ended up happening next. Here we go. Welcome back to Organize with Grace podcast. Do you feel like you're always struggling to get it together? Do you feel like you're burning the candle at both ends? Feeling completely disorganized in your home and life, that it's starting to affect you mentally and emotionally? Well, you've come to the right place if you need encouragement, easy and simple organization tips, or you just want to know that you're not alone in this season of life. Hi, I'm Grace Ramon, your fellow working mom and professional organizer. I believe in you, friend. You can get it together. Now let's get organized. So, Cecile, so good to have you on Organize with Grace. I couldn't wait. I was so looking forward for this conversation because you and I have been working, I think, for the past couple of months?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
true.
for
Yeah.
the past couple of months. So
really quick, you guys, I know that I had already introduced Cecile, and she is such a multi-talented lady, and
Oh gosh.
I love I have loved getting to know her. And with this episode, what we're going to bring you is her experience with working with me virtually, and that's my primary service, and that is how I help those who are in need of just the guidance with organization and organizing their space. And so Cecile was just a willing participant, and she and I have been working together, like I said, for the past couple of months. And Cecile, I just want to ask, even after retirement, you are so active, you have a lot going on. And when we met, did you right away realize that you had been needing some help with getting organized with your space in your home? Or is it something, how did it start for you with the realization?
Oh no. I mean, because when we met actually at one of the meetings for a writing critique group here in Northern California.
That's right.
And we were just, I mean, I didn't even know you. I didn't know that you live like an hour away and you live where I used to live. So
Yes.
when I met you there, I really had no idea who you were. But somehow when you talked, something about organizing came out, and I think that was what caught my attention.
Mm-hmm.
And suffice to say, I believe that our being connected was divinely appointed. You needed something that I could help you with, and I needed something that you could help me with. And so it didn't come right away that I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna let Grace help me organize stuff, because my mind was still not there.
Mm-hmm.
I have always been a person who loved beauty. As a creative, I've always admired beauty. I mean, that I am very involved with flowers and flower arranging. I used to be
Yeah.
involved with home interiors. I used to be a consultant for home interiors. And so I did interior designing and stuff like that. And even at the very early stages of my marriage to my husband, and we've been married for more than 30 years now.
Yay, congratulations.
Thank you. I've always been very, very particular about having a clean house and organizing. I used to move our piano. I mean, I couldn't wait for my husband to come home. I used to move our piano, and you know how tiny I am. I'm probably, shorter than 5 feet. So if you can imagine me this height, this body moving a huge piano around the house on carpet.
Yeah.
Well, that was me, because I couldn't wait for my husband to come home. Once I set my mind onto something, I run with it. And so for the past 2 years, we had the pandemic. I had so many other responsibilities. I
Right.
was still teaching, and the responsibility of taking care of my 94-year-old dad then landed on my lap. And
Mm-hmm.
so it was quite an adjustment for both of us. And so cleaning the house, organizing, kind of was put in the back burner.
It
Yeah.
happens during that
Yes.
transition time of our lives when
Yeah.
things are changing. It does happen. Yeah.
Exactly. And with the pandemic and with the additional responsibilities I had to choose to do things that gave me immediate pleasure or gave me immediate relief and therapy. And so when you clean, when you organize, it kind of takes a longer time. It takes a lot of time from you. And so instead of slowly doing things, and I knew that I could do things, a little at a time, because I've tried timing myself before, and I know those things work for me. But instead of focusing on cleaning my house or organizing things, I focused on my hobbies, which were flower arranging and baking. And those were my daily therapeutic kind of getaways.
Sure.
So I think I started thinking about organizing when we decided to meet up.
Yeah. Yep.
Remember that?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so with that, when we first started the sessions, our meetups we decided to start with your closet.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
And we came up with a strategy to tackle that. And for you, it worked, the daily tackling it every hour at a time. And now, we both know there are times when, when life happens, of course, and, that doesn't happen. But how did you feel when we came up with that very simple strategy of doing it like in increments?
I felt really good because I was highly motivated. I knew, and the good thing is, Grace, you gave me that option. You gave me a chance to decide for myself what was important for me. And I was the one who told you I want to start in my closet, because that to me was a big deal. And you also gave me a chance to give myself grace when I felt like, okay, I need to move somewhere else that for me is something that's bothering me.
Yes.
Yeah. So we started with my closet, and then we moved on to paperwork, which is, oh gosh, that is a big deal. Yeah.
And with the closets, I know that I saw it on Zoom, and you allowed me to see what the progress was. And I think that you did a fantastic job with getting rid of the ones that, you didn't need anymore necessarily, and you gave yourself more room in that closet. And so what it sounded like when we talked one of those times is that you felt like you gained momentum. So how did that feel, going from your closet to now paperwork? What did that process feel like for you?
When I gained momentum, because at first you said, well, maybe you can do it once a week with the paperwork. And I said, no, I think for me, it is best if I do a portion of a time every day, because I think what made me have that momentum was really seeing the progress, the little successes that I had.
Yeah.
And so even with financial planning, we're very much into the Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey.
And if you kind of tackle the small ones, your small debt, and then it is like a domino effect, it topples everything else. That was where my momentum was. And you asked me earlier, how did you feel about this? And I'd like to use a quote because I love quotes.
Yeah, definitely.
And this quote is actually, I don't know who put this together because it was an anonymous quote, but this also describes how I felt. It is very freeing to me because, like what I said earlier, I'm really someone who likes things clean, and I like seeing beauty. And for me, dirt and clutter, they're not beautiful. So this quote says, clean your space, clear your mind. And so that's how I felt. When my space was cleaner, my mind also became freer, because I think knowing what I valued and seeing things progress in that direction kind of gave space in my mind to be able to think about other things.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so profound. I hear that a lot with others whom I've worked with. And it's true. You really make space for more of what you do value when you see and you make progress with the decluttering and getting things out that you no longer, serves you, you no longer use. you gotta tell the audience what happened even after that with the gaining of momentum. So what happened after the paperwork, Cecile? And you showed it to me, through video.
Okay,
So
so basically, well, it kind of spilled over to my husband, not only because we decided after so many years to change our mattress. It's crazy, it's funny. We have been in our house for more than 13 years, I think, and we've never repainted our house.
mhm.
And so, because we decided we're going to change the mattress, my husband actually kind of said, well, let's change our paint. Let's repaint our bedroom. And so we kind of decided together, well, what kind of, colors do we want? And for me, I really wanted something that was peaceful, something that was, because this is your bedroom. You want it to be a sanctuary. You want it to be a place where you can rest and relax.
Yes.
And so as we were going through the colors, we picked blue. And blue is actually, not the first color that my husband, because his favorite color is green. My favorite color is between blue and green, but I'm also an orange girl.
And it looks really nice on her, by the way. So she's wearing it right now.
Thank you. I think with our color of our skin,
yeah,
orange actually, kind of makes it, I don't know. I mean, it brings out
enhances
the
right
color.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we did that, and it made my creativity, it made my love for beauty come out. And so I redecorated the room. I added plants and everything, and it is so nice. Every day the room is clean.
Yeah.
And so this makes, now I'm opening curtains, and having the sun, the sun rays come into our bedroom, because now I don't care if our neighbors see it, because our bedroom's clean and it looks so good.
And it does. Yeah. And I love what you've done to it. It just looks very airy. Like you said, just a place to rest and relax. Calming. Like, I love the way that you designed it.
It kind of brought my husband in. He actually decided to repaint one of the fixtures there, or the cabinets or whatever, display cabinet.
Yeah.
So from black to white. And so all the colors in our room actually have this vibe of calmness and cleanliness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how, my husband got so involved.
Isn't that neat?
Over.
Yeah. I love that spillover image, because we think that sometimes when the rest of our family members are not quite with it, with our projects and organizing projects, we think that, okay, if we just maybe nudge them a little bit and just, made them do their part and things like that, that it would work. But sometimes we get resistance. But I think that what was happening was your husband seeing it, and he is also seeing the results. He's like, hey, I want in on that too. So
yeah. And I think the change in my demeanor, I think that
that's huge.
We've talked about this before in our conversations. For me, when I started with my closet, I talked to you about how I even wrote about this on one of my blogs. And I wrote about how I stood in front of my closet and I said, I'm retired, and look at what I've got here.
Mm-hmm.
When you came in, you helped me to pare down what I had. You helped me to sort things that were no longer something that I would use, but I could give to someone else, or I could let go. And for me, it's that letting go. It's more of a spiritual thing also.
Yes, it can. Mm-hmm.
Because we hold on to so many things in our lives that are really not the most valuable if you look at the scheme of things.
Yeah.
And so that is what kind of also gave me the momentum, because I am taking away and minimizing what I have, but at the same time, I'm gaining more.
Yeah.
I'm gaining more peace. I'm gaining more clarity. I'm gaining more calmness because there's not that clutter.
Yes.
So I think that's one of the things. And by the way, Grace, it didn't stop there.
No?
If you
Tell me more. I love this.
I haven't said anything to Grace for the past times that we've met. I think we've been meeting almost every Friday.
Yeah.
And the times that we meet, we talk, but I don't tell her everything that's going on with my cleaning in the house. But I have almost every room, the kitchen, so the
Awesome.
countertops, everything. I mean, there's less clutter than there was before. There's really a shift. It's more of a mindset shift.
Right.
It's more of a heart shift in me, where I now look at things and say, are this really important? Do this really serve a purpose? And that has helped me a lot.
Such important questions. And
Yes.
guess what? Those are questions that you ended up coming up with yourself in the process. And all I had to do was help start it.
Yes.
And the rest of it, you are the one that set the mark and decided on what to do and what to do next, and then started to ask those questions for yourself.
Yeah. But where it came from was really the 3 bags that you told me to have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It started there because you had me from my closet and my clothes. You told me to take 3 bags. One that was to discard, one was that was a maybe, and the other one which is to keep.
Right.
And so if you do that, it's almost like my whole life, being sorted.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things I want to keep because they're important to me. They're of value to me. These are the ones that I'm kind of not sure right now because I might need them. I might not need them. But it's nice because I can always, and I knew why I held on to them. And I knew that if what my goal was for those that I held on to was not met, then I can let go of those things.
Yeah.
But the other bag was, well, this I know I can give away. And even in that little bag, I still sorted it because there were things that I wanted to give away that were special to me. And I wanted to give it away to the special people in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And there were others that, I mean, they're special. They're good. They're still good clothes, but I can let go of them and I can give them to people I don't even know.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it's at.
Yay.
Yeah.
That is amazing, Cecille. That is so amazing. And I am just myself, I'm so blessed to see it through with you and to come alongside you. But I just gotta congratulate you for starting and following through with this journey. And I mean, look at your whole home. We started with a closet.
Yeah.
We just started with one area, and look where you're at now. And so that's great.
Yeah, but Grace, I still have to go back to my closet because it's not completely done. I
That's
still
okay.
have to go to my papers because it's not completely done.
Yeah.
But I know that I can give myself grace because I can look at all the other things. And I think that's one thing that I want to tell everyone else is that rejoice and celebrate the little wins that we have. And then for those things that we need to go back to them when it feels right for you to go back to them.
Exactly.
Because there is a proper time for everything.
Yeah.
And there's another quote I want to share with you.
Yes,
like
please.
What I said, I love quotes. So this is a quote by Maria Kondo, I think. Maria Kondo.
Yeah, Marie.
Marie Kondo.
Love her.
Yeah. So the objective of cleaning is not just to clean, but to feel happiness living within that environment. So I think that it wasn't just cleaning. The act of cleaning can be very tedious if you are just doing it just for the purpose of cleaning. But when you know that cleaning eventually leads to something that is in your heartstrings, that pulls at your heartstrings or your mind, then there's a big difference. And I think that's where the motivation comes in, and that's where the momentum comes in. So that's very important to think about.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. Because when it comes down to it, the stuff is just the surface.
Yeah.
Right? It's just the surface, the
Exactly.
stuff. But when I can't even put it any better. Like, when you have that within you, what the motivation, like you said, comes from the heart or the mind and something that you want to do, it's something that you can do. And the grace definitely. And I think it's a play on words, why I titled my podcast Organize with Grace. And, it's my name, but I do really honestly believe that we need to organize with grace, because we can't be so hard on ourselves with not getting things done. Like you said, yeah, I know the papers are there, but you know what? I have the freedom, I have the grace to make time for it when I'm ready.
Yes.
In the closet the same way. So you have that sense of, that sense of peace about it, that sense of control.
Yes.
And now that you're, Cecile, to close it up, what do you envision now? I know that you said that you are experiencing, and it's, I'm so glad you're experiencing a lot of peace and a lot of clarity. What do you envision now for yourself as you continue to, to declutter and organize?
Okay, so what I envision is basically, because I've started with our bedroom. So now I'm moving on. I mean, because of course, we have two other bedrooms. And by the way, we talked about this. I already did the pantry.
You did, and you did show me, and it looked great.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about my organizing, but there's been so much organizing despite everything else that I do. So my objective now is really to organize the two other bedrooms and then maybe even repaint or whatever, but I want to put in another coat.
Wow, nice.
For the future.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
Because it's not just, the here and now. This is a quote by Megan Francis. I don't know if you're familiar with this person, but I kind of found these quotes and it's like, oh my gosh, yes, those resonate with me.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
Share
here
with
it
us.
goes. It's called cleaning and organizing is a practice, not a project. Cleaning and organizing is a practice, not a project. So when I think about the future, I think about, they are little projects for me when it's just like developing a habit.
Yes.
It takes about 25 days to develop a habit. And I've always practiced that before. It's like, if I want to discipline myself, then I want to give myself at least 25 days doing that same thing every day until it develops and becomes a habit. And so even with cleaning, now that I've started, I mean, Grace, you haven't checked on me, but
I really have not. Yeah.
No,
for the past
you haven't.
couple of weeks. Yeah.
No.
Or more.
It's now a habit of, I want to see this really nice and tidy. I want to see this. Oh, okay. There's another thing of my husband jumping into what I've been doing. Because he was throwing away a bookend that had ships, like, boats on them. And the boats the sails of the boats kind of toppled down or whatever. So he was going to throw that away. And I mean, I love to just have my husband throw things without my seeing them. Because it doesn't bother me when I don't know what he's thrown away. But if I do, then that bothers me, especially if it's important to me.
Sure.
So, okay, he had this bags packed to give away to Salvation Army or to Goodwill. And I saw those bookends, and I need bookends because I have so many books. I took them out of his little pile. I took them out of his little pile. And then when my best friend and I went shopping at Hobby Lobby, I found this. I'm not sure what kind of bird they were, but I found two of them. And I kind of thought, you know what? This would be so good to replace those ships, those sailboats. They were actually sailboats. because they had sales. So to replace those and use this instead, but I kept it. So I bought those, and there was a pair. So I bought those, and then because one of the sailboats was still standing on one of the the bookends, I didn't have time to really work on it. But the other night, my husband came back into the bedroom and said, "Can you come and see if I did this right?" So I went, I said, "What did you do right?" And he actually glued those two birds on he took the sailboat out of the bookend and replaced it with the two birds that I bought. They are
Oh,
now on display in our bedroom. And so
wow.
I'm so thrilled that he is on board,
Yeah. And that means so much more, right?
Yes,
It has
I
so
love
much
it.
meaning.
Yeah, because it's both of us, working
Yes.
together. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so wonderful. What a success story. And I know that you're only going to continue to blossom as you already have. It's as if, I think that you have, as you mentioned at the beginning, you've already had your own, your own passions and things. But, just I think that the decluttering and organizing simply like enhanced it for you, just your love for things and for baking and for especially being an author. That's amazing too. And by the way, Cecille is having something new come up. She's got some fun things ahead that I can't wait. I may call her back for this for another podcast episode to talk about it, right, Cecille?
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So thank you so much. And is there, one more thing that you can, if I know I have had others who have come along as virtual clients, and I know you and I have traded work for this one, and I'm just so grateful because I'm learning a lot from Cecille as a writer, and I'm learning so much from her. For the ones that may hesitate, like, what is virtual organizing about? What is the one thing that you can tell them if they're hesitating about hiring someone like me who can they do it, can they not, is it even possible to get organized over Zoom? What would you tell them?
I would tell them, if I could do it, you could.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually juggling so many things. Besides taking care of my dad full time, besides starting something new, besides continuing to write and facilitating writing critique groups. So if I can do it, you can. And virtually, Grace can help you. And so I'd like to encourage you. But one thing I want to say is you won't get anywhere if you don't start. So take that first step. Grace is there to support you, and she won't, she is open to, what you want.
Yeah.
And she's not like militarily gonna force you to do things. She will go with you. She's a coach. I would almost say a life coach, because coaching, by the way, is very different from being in a therapist chair.
Yes, it is.
Coaching, you're still in the driver's seat. And so with having Grace there, she's just your coach. She's just your cheerleader. She's just your support. And so if you are doubting whether virtual organization will work, you can look at me and you can say, if she can do it, then I could too. So that's basically what I'd love to say.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I am so honored to know you, number one, and to have worked with you with your organizing and your journey overall. And so thank you so much, Cecille, for this episode. I'm so excited just to follow up with you some more. And like I said, in a later episode, I would love to invite you back and just to talk about your new projects and your new visions. So thank you.
Grace. Thank you for inviting me here. And you continue to do what you do.
I will.
You're a big help.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, real quick, if you enjoyed today's episode, the best way to thank me is by leaving an iTunes review. If you're listening to me right now on your iPhone, simply scroll down, click write a review, within the podcast, and voila, you'll get a chance to click 5 stars and type in how the podcast has helped you. You can also access iTunes on your computer if you're not an iPhone user by downloading the iTunes app. Also, I offer virtual organizing, and that means we get to hop on Zoom together wherever you are, and I can help you organize your space for a fraction of a price that you would spend hiring an in-person organizer. Contact me by email, hello@organizewithgrace.com, so you and I can get started. I offer a free 15-minute assessment to see if we're a good match to work together. So get on it, girl. Stop being stuck on your organizing journey. I'll help you walk forward so you can finish that organizing project that you've been procrastinating on. No judgment here. I've done it myself, but you know what I'm talking about, girl. All right. Can't wait to talk to you. Bye.